Welcome to Operation Mercury. Um, this is using, which is an invasion of Crete. This is using the new paratroop rules. So they have to move in, hang over the target, and then drop, which isn't too much of a problem for me because, well, it's just one round delay. And I don't have to really re-embark and drop again too many times, 0 times actually. So, but the big problem is for the AI faction. We'll look at that a bit later. So you can see them here. General students forces, 2 waves. One will land here, the other one will land here. They were sort of balanced using the old rules. Yeah, there's lots of talking again. Limited deployment, yes, I know. And I rather like this. This is 2 ankles glued together, just like the Zwilling BF-109. It's hilarious. I just have to have them. Second Avenger, not my favorite. So basically, these ones go here, where they get clobbered completely, and combined with the delay in drop time for me, I have no chance of reinforcing them. I don't think I can reach this airfield for the short time they have it without the fast rebase hero. Maybe it's possible, but it would be a very. I think it would be down to luck. Maybe you can do it in some battles, but not when you play again. This group will fare a little better, then they will land around here. So if you have long-ranged aircraft, you can rebase them over here as soon as you have taken this airfield. Short-ranged aircraft will have to go to Malema, which is the main objective. So main objective, Malema, capture all victory access. And there are 5 aircraft on Crete, which we will destroy, of course. And then there is a cache of some planes here. I will take that one as well. There are plenty of Royal Navy here. We will only destroy them sort of while we have nothing else to do, and to prevent all those pesky carrier planes from interfering later on. But I won't make an effort to sort of sink every single ship. There's no point. So this part about sorry about that. AI not being able to drop properly, that's sad. That should be looked at. That said, I really like the new paratrooper rules. It gives defending fighters and flak the ability to fire back. Before, for example, taking this little one here was very easy, but if you want to drop here, you either have to take flak and be spotted and get a fight in the face, or you need to sneak in and land in these hills. That's pretty cool, and that's just for a dirt airfield, so you don't want to do that. So here you will not move in here and drop around the airfield. No, you will drop out of sight of this flak that you know is there, so that it cannot spot you, so it won't send fighters for you. So that's the plan. Land here, go down, move east. If I can free up some units, I can re-embark them here, and then I can fly them and not drop them, but disembark them on this airfield. And 21 turns is plenty, so even on maximum difficulty, there is no need to panic. But to pull this off, I have to reconfigure my entire force of units, which is kind of boring, so I'm not going to go through all of that. So one moment, you're going to see a magical trick. And ta-da, the magical trick is this. I'll put a bunch of my units into reserve. So this is the group I'm going with. I can look over the heroes really quickly. But there are plenty of Seafires to kill here, and some more planes to shoot down here, but I wouldn't go overboard on the fighters, because as soon as you melt the enemy air force, there isn't too much for them to do. And also using the new para rules, you will be delayed. So where you would normally maybe be to Maleme, and they would still hold this airfield, and there will be no problem shuffling your aircraft back and forth. You will probably just be holding this airfield when this airfield falls. So even if you take Maleme, the only place you can send stuff is here. So you need some longer range stuff. Your 12 range fighters won't be able to make that rebase. So to that end, I have created two. Well, this isn't really Galand. I have moved bar on this one, and I should. I'll show you what I've put on him, but I need to change the camo, or I will totally forget. So he's in the Hurricane because the Hurricane has insane air attack, and he has it's bar of course, so double attack, and he has rapid fire and no retaliation. And this stuff about famous, I mean, you are supposed to struggle a little bit with prestige. I think at this level he's legendary, so between them these two generate 70 prestige a turn. Wow. Well, anyway, rapid fire and no retaliation, so you can basically, if he's lucky, one shot 2 planes per round. And he's not all bad against ground targets. Galan does Galan stuff. Hit and run and readiness, because he has high initiative. That's basically him not getting a, well, maybe he could be shot back just a tiny bit when he's on the offense. This is interesting. Reduce slots to keep it down a bit. It has insane stats across the board, but it has first strike and rapid fire. So that's 21 shots, high attack, both on offense and defense. I do this because these have long range and can be rebased, so they have to act as fighters, and they will be slaughtered if they just use their normal stats. This has no retaliation, vigilant, and readiness. Yeah, okay. Vigilant, that's just in case I wanted to attack something on the ground. It's not, I just had the hero, so I stuck it on there. 2 recons because I need to be able to see the ocean. And this one, 0 slots consolidator and double attack, so 2 20 strength attacks. My flying wing, 0 slots lethal attack and rapid fire. Good for ship killing, but also especially good for neutralizing flak. With lethal attack and rapid fire, it can just fly over one of the many small flaks the enemy has, bomb them to smithereens, and then my ground strike aircraft can attack unimpeded. These have entrenchment killer just because, well, after a while everything has maximum entrenchment. Shock tactics pins stuff in place. Unyielding, that's just a joke. It's not a complete joke because sometimes flak does suppression, and this one is then immune to suppression, so it's not entirely a joke. This one will not be needing that truck. It will be a lot less effective than before because it now has no retaliation. It's been moved to a fighter, but it has envelopment, ignores entrenchment, and thorough preparation. The last one because it has bad initiative, so it tends to take quite a bit of damage, where before it just could hit with rapid fire and do tons of damage. So it will not be nearly as effective as before, but it doesn't matter. There aren't that many defenders anyway. So the leader of the pack, fearsome reputation, provocateur, and distraction. The idea is to just send him in front, while these 2 bad boys have consolidator and avenger and artillery support. So the hope is that they get damaged a bit, maybe knocked down to around strength 20, because then I suddenly will have insane attack stats. Because if you don't remember Avenger, which again isn't my favorite, but I have it, they get an attack bonus for each point of lost strength. It's sort of prudent, but attack. So it's one of the rare cases where you want your units to be damaged a bit, and with Consolidator they can go to strength 25, and because there are only 2 slot space, I can afford to take them up to 26, 25. Provocateur, aggressive counterattack, evasive, those 2. Stick them in the hill and watch bad things happen to the opponent. There are some hills here. Not a whole lot, but here could be some hill fighting, and here are some hills. This one has been spec'd for anti-tank support. And it has camouflage, otherwise the enemy tends to spot him and just hit him directly. And these have exterminator just because I had a few heroes left over. So quite a bit of overstrength here. Not a whole lot of paratroopers actually. So I don't think there is much more to say about this setup. No. So this is actually bar now. Galant. Oh, he's not renamed here. Huh. Okay. Didn't know about that bug. Look. So you hover here and the title here, very different. Okay, the bar is blue. Bar, Galant. I need a spotter. No. I need another spotter. No. Something like that. No. They don't need to start in the air. And that's it really. And let's go. Yes. So I can start by splitting this guy. And then we can split this guy. So these are the guys we want to deal with. Okay. It's a bit disappointing. Oh, come on. Well, the good stuff here is that they don't really heal much, so we'll get them. Pinning that one in place. Making sure this guy is escorted. Mm-hmm. Oh, it was already in there. LOL. No. And embark. And embark. Embark, and he gets a movement bonus even when he's in the air. That's kind of cute. Embark. So obviously these ground pounders can't do the actual drop, but that's not important. Oops, oops. So there we are. And this is very painful, lots of AI action, but yeah, I didn't mention it, but there is no way you can bring across your regular units because you never get any transport. These guys are sunk almost immediately. And here they come. So far, so good. What they could have done as an easy fix is to just start them a little bit closer so that they would come in over the target on the first round. And then also move these fighters back a little bit so there won't be any ambush. Also, the AI is a complete idiot, so it can't even manage to sort of move all its units over land. But enough about that. We are not going to look at this after this turn. I just wanted to show you how bad it is when you suddenly change a core rule of the game without bothering. This is a bit of a bait. It's not nice of me to do that, of course, but it's just a junker. I can always repair it. And it is my least important unit. It has this unyielding trait, but that's it. And of course, these destroyers are slaughtered by 20 strength battleships and 14 strength cruisers. That goes without saying. Get to attack from beyond the defender's range. I think you have one light cruiser. So. But here we are. And we will just grab a bar. This one has rapid fire. So because of my bad shooting, they still have one strength point left there. Shocking. So this one isn't much damaged, so I'm going to just pin this battleship in place because why not? I will repair that guy. Then I can see if I could sort of sink something now with only a few strength points, but no. There is one more mega battleship here. One strength point. It's not suppressed. 14 damage. Pretty good. Can just have a look. Okay, then we will find our paratroopers. That was the grenadiers. Oh no. String 20, there it is. Can't be seen here. Can't be seen here. Could drop there. But we'll drop it here, I think. It doesn't matter. Only thing that matters is that your planes need to be able to reach the landing field in one move. So that's our planes for today, for this turn, I mean. And I can just use these spotters to see, keep sort of the space open. And I will end turn. And we could watch the Italians' suicide against the Royal Navy. But I will just press down the button. That was very slow. Sometimes the sinking animations really. So now they finally get to land. And just to make things difficult, they put themselves over rivers, over occupied slots here. This group gets completely knackered, of course. I will now be bombed, and there you get the message that you cannot bring any boats over. So this group is lost already. You can already see that it's completely unbalanced. But okay, it doesn't matter. But now we can finally drop. I will just drop all of them. No, that's not what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to do. And now you can see these have enough range, so we don't need to move them any further. Actually, it's better to stay away. So this guy has repaired. And I guess the carrier sort of disappeared somewhere. I'm not sure where it went. And there is that other battleship I talked about. Oh, it has 10 air defense. Oh, this has higher air defense actually. Maybe we can kill it. Yes. We can take out the little cruiser here. Or not. Now my headset is telling me to recharge. No, it doesn't work. They have too high air. Well, a little one. Blink, blink. Wonder where the aircraft carrier went. Probably scripted to sort of disappear. And this isn't relevant for me, but we can just kind of watch it anyway. You can see completely one-sided armor, completely hammered. Ta-ta-da. No, wait. That's not what we want to do. We want to do this so we can actually heal. Ouch. Ah, that was entirely in the wrong order. Sorry, brain fart. You have to land, of course, so I don't clog up the. There. That's the right order. And this is so stupid. Now it just runs across that river and gets completely clobbered. This guy landed on the river for some reason. These guys are out of supplies, so they're just waiting to be massacred. This is annoying at this stage, but it will pass. Yeah, I don't. I'm not in it to watch the AI play this game. So there surrenders. Perfect. And now if we try to rebase here, it's not possible. unfortunately. And the same applies to any scout planes or whatever. And even the big guys cannot rebase all the way from there. This needs to heal. This could maybe sink something if something was in range. Well, destroyers, they aren't really that important. It's gonna take forever. I could have shuffled it across the channel. Now that I think about it, but okay. This one, however, can go over here. Same with this one. Unfortunately, none of them parked close to the airfield. Not much I can do about that. This is now camouflaged. This has support from artillery. And let's stand on the river, of course. That will be great. Yay! Had a case of dead battery there. just because. Yeah, scout car so it can see everything, and this is an anti-air unit. No, but this one ignores entrenchment. So like I said, it takes a bit of damage, but nothing too critical. Let's get rid of that Spitfire first. Ah, oh, no. Well, if I hadn't done this, then I definitely wouldn't have one-shotted it. So it is what it is. Healing. Oh, that was harsh. This is a scout, so it can see that anti-tank unit, which is why it's not attacking. And this should be the end of these guys soon. A suicide attack. Oh, almost suicidal. And this one. Okie dokie. Can just start out here. Bye. Now, the reason I didn't put the tank killer on this guy is that there are not very many actual tanks on the island. Artillery after ground attacks really good. Artillery support against provocateur. Rapid fire. This is in ground attack mode. Where is bar? There is. That's all the allied aircraft. Make a bit of spotting. There you see why it's nice to have. Just kill this battleship. Gonna take a few turns, but oops. No, I must take the airfield first. Haha. Hilarious. I want this. No, wait a second. This is a Gebirgsjäger. No, that's clear terrain, so no. Aggressive counterattack. Yeah, wow. Ignores entrenchment. Exterminator. Okay, so it decides to just clog up the airfield. Great stuff. Sometimes this game makes me despair. But I suppose I won't be disembarking these units at the airfield. I just have to take this airfield and go back here. Complete waste of time, but okay, whatever. That's funny because I actually forgot to move some of my units. And you find some Spitfires so we can have a look. More Spitfires, no more Hurricanes, unfortunately. Some more bow fighters. Some Sterlings. They are not any good. Ah, fun. Fun but futile. Oops. Still 10 turns left. Should be good. Why isn't this idiot moving? So the one unit I want to move is the one unit I do not want to move. No, not that unit. It can't move any further. And it can also not move any further. It can also not move any further. Never mind. The lameness. Ah, I forgot about those guys. Okay. No, it was high entrenchment, no point. It should be over by now if I could have dropped my two mountain in fair. No. So now you can turn in Galan for 100 BF 109 Gs. No. And there you go. Didn't kill this pillbox, but okay. Oops. Yay. This is a pretty good scenario if you ignore the fact that the AI is completely confused when it comes to paradropping under the new rules. Probably something about the scripting within this scenario that makes it extra. Yeah, and I've never seen that behavior before when the one inch decides to camp on the airfield and block my access to it. It's always moved away before, so I could always get some units in. Yeah, lots of casualties. Who cares?